Welcome back. WeArEuS, and this is the Thaumaturge, which should have been uploaded yesterday, but I got a little confused about due to having to stitch together the two episodes of Wukong, so I found myself out of sorts in terms of what day to upload what. Nevertheless, we're going to continue as things are, not with the double back-to-back uploads, though I'm sure some of you would probably like that. I just mean that from this video on, things are going to alternate in turn as they should again. So, I remember our favorite uncle was talking about his son being in a spot of bother. It wasn't traveling at a speed that would kill me anyway, so I'm disappointed. Lovely. Not depressing at all. All right. I just saw a symbol that meant I could interact with something and I just lost my head, but it's fine. So I just spent the past hour, not entirely an hour. Matches don't take that long. Yet. I just spent a good 40 minutes, I'd say 40 minutes, playing Honor of Kings. I will tell you, ranked is an absolute zoo. Absolute zoo. You've got people playing tanks. Don't get me wrong. I love a support that can kill. What I don't like is a support that greeds for a kill to death. Can't stand it, really. I love a good kill on my support. I don't like my support getting killed greeting for it.
Mr. Shulsky, hello. Shall I inform the authorities and hospitals, or shall I wait? Your last visit has become somewhat of a legend.
This time it'll be quiet, I promise. I'm here to see Pyotr Voronin.
Is Master Voronin moving out by any chance?
Never mind. Where can I find our pest?
Room 213, second floor. You've been there already.
The concierge's opinion of Petya. According to the concierge, Petya makes life difficult for the hotel's guests and employees. Ah, crap. Here we go. Dear sirs, I would like to inform you that my wife and I are forced to shorten our stay at the hotel if the situation does not change. Peaceful rest has recently become impossible here due to the noise coming almost all night, every day, from the flat on the first floor where, as we have heard, Mr. Voronin lives. In addition, hold on. The concierge said 213 second floor. This paper is saying first floor, meaning second floor, due to European nonsense. So what is the concierge? In addition, there are people of dubious provenance in the vicinity of this flat in the evenings. The only solution for people who care about peace and their reputation is to get far away from such excesses as soon as possible, which we will do if you do not do something about it. Yours sincerely, Alexander Ivanov. Apparently, Petch has been. I believe the word pest is, in fact, accurate. Nothing to pick up on down here, so we move along. Huh.
So, same thing tonight, gentlemen?
You bet. I'll get some cognac.
It will help relax the atmosphere.
Who's this guy?
It's just my cousin. Hello, Victor. Meet Thomas and Franz. Did you miss me?
With every shot so far. I don't see how say you need to talk is the proud answer. Look, as much as I was harping about wanting to advance my pride, the flaw of pride level, I also don't want this guy having his neck stretched at the gallows. So we're going to be careful about it, is what I want to say.
I wanted to see how you've settled in.
Take a look around. It gets quite interesting here during my modest parties. Want some champagne?
About these parties, I think someone got lost on the balcony recently.
It was Papa who sent you, wasn't it? I told him to stay out of this. Tomas, Franz, show my cousin the door.
I'm sorry, it's just not going to go that way. So this guy has risk. The first attack on this target casts a negative state on the attacker, and the state itself will be hidden. So if I use the oop here, does risk just vanish? This guy also has invulnerability, and we need the Bukovac to deal with that. Oh, right, I can get rid of negative status effects using the Lelik. And we also just picked up the Velas, which I'm curious to see what it does. We don't have any upgrades, so we can advance things. We stand to suffer a lot of damage, should they meet their turns successfully. I'm actually going to use the... If we could get this guy down to half health, the Bukovac would cast Suffering on them both. We have options. I want to get this guy down to half, and the best way to do that is to use up a healthy portion of the space between now and the enemy's first moves. And then we can use... Right, I moved stuff around. isn't... Then where is... Oh, it is on this one. Like I said, I moved stuff around. This now has the ability to restore my focus. I mean, I know why it's on here. It's one of the only ones with enough slots to fit the effect. But I can't imagine there wasn't something better we could have done. I'll use Agony on my next turn and then have the Vukovac probably just eat this guy, right? We could do this. And then just have the... Yeah, just have the Vukovac straight up execute this guy. Frankly, it's so much damage, it's not even entirely worth it. And we can cast Agony on this guy, or Hold Wound on this guy. And then we'll also be protected from... Yummy Carotid. So now we have protection against his attack. He won't be seeing his turn. We need the Oop here in order to disable his annoying trait. And then we'll punch him in the face. We'll do it for the Gipper, naturally. Okay, so... Oh, right. I forgot that the Focus Restore was on there. So, apparently the effect from Risk that was on this guy was just Bleed. And since he has no other way to apply Bleed... Oh, he just dies on his next turn. Good for me. Bop. Well, I say die, but no guns were used this time.
As you can see, I can be stubborn.
Congratulations. Franz and Thomas are tough customers.
Not really.
Well, speak up. I don't have all day.
Don't you, though? Considering that you throw modest parties pretty much every day? At least according to that note.
Let me take a look around.
As you wish.
I can't make the audio sound of him just kicking this guy in the nuts. That's just not possible. So instead, I just chose to voice, there are shoes out here. I instead chose to voice my intent. Oh. They have roused themselves from the floor and vanished from the area. Ooh. Over here. Lock, stock, and barrel matchbox. The package is drenched. It's hardly possible to make out the name of the bar. The box still bears a trace of warmth, a break at work, a small flame lights a cigarette, a small flicker of hope glows in the soul. The waitress drifts off into a dream world. She sees herself in a white dress and veil, with her head held high, valued at last. there's just vomit everywhere in here, you know? This guy right here, who looks like he's in a straitjacket while sitting on the crapper, he said, he asked me what was that on my head, please get rid of it. Huh. Really? Why out on the balcony now? Really? Heck. Men's shoes. Shoes are arranged in a neat row in front of the balustrade. When the soles emanate with shaky excitements. One step on the balustrade, one step toward a new life. The man was filled with joy. He would be able to provide a better life for his beloved and his family. He had just signed a document, so everything was on paper. Hairpin. A hairpin lost on a hotel balcony. She had wanted to fix her hair. Her fingers suddenly became stiff and her body was seized by a spasm. The metal pin was electrified with terror. The second that destroyed 2 lives imprinted itself on the small ornament, turning it into an artifact of pain. And thus the conclusion we reach regards the hotel tragedy. So, at the time of Ludwig's death, someone else was on the balcony. A witness. A woman. Most likely a waitress from the Lock, Stock, and Barrel bar. I was going to say Matchbox because, that's what I thought was coming next. So I guess we have to go and talk to the woman first before we come back and speak with Petya. I would love to run faster. So where exactly? Well, the little red trail will tell me. I see no reason to ask a question that is being in the process, mind you, of being answered. You know, if I were to open a bar, I would call it No Holds.
Beer?
No. Mock him and order champagne first. So we've got a hidden option with this guy. There we go. Hanya's apron. An apron with the name Hana. Weird. It's very weird. Okay, so it's Hanya, but it has the name Hana embroidered on it. Tension is another thread in the linen fabric of the apron. Nervous impulses run through the material, being so close to the body, it has taken over the stress pulsating from the violent movements of its owner. And thus the conclusion that we reach regarding a tear on the apron. It seems that Hanya is the witness I'm looking for.
I'd like to ask about a certain waitress.
What about beer?
I'd like to ask about Hanya.
Hey, Zdenek! There's a stalker here asking about Hanya. Grab your buddies and get them to stop bothering her.
I literally just asked a question. Why in the world did he just jump to violence? It's got a trait called Focused. Reduces impact on owner's focus and requires the Veles to disable it. Upir and Lelik. You know, I could literally just swap to the Lelik and destroy this guy. It reduces their focus by 2. Seems like a plan, you know? So... that guy doesn't get his turn for a while. Team defense. Inflicts damage and reduces focus. Casts team counterattack. The first attack on this target incurs a counterattack from all enemies. And it lasts 4 turns, so I would prefer that this third guy on the side here, well, just call him the third guy. The third guy here with the diamond on him. He's the one that came up with this bright idea. Yeah, that's definitely him. I would really, really like to stop this guy from having his turn. What does the Veles do specifically? Inflicts damage, a 50% chance of interrupting the enemy's planned action. I do like that. It gives me 2 shots at interrupting this guy's turn. Slippery Bet inflicts damage, restores 10 of your health points. Has a 50% chance to triple that amount. Nice. Each subsequent action that restores health points, as usual, will restore less of it. This action, however, is slow, so takes... oh dear, that is a 3-round action. Good Luck Kiss. Inflicts damage with a 50% chance that the damage will be tripled. I don't hate that. For now, I would really like to prevent this guy from having a turn. Hey, we came through. He still gets his turn, though. And it's still going to be that same really, really annoying... We don't stand to take a lot of damage. Shallow cut, and it inflicts bleeding. Same deal here. I'm actually going to let that through and stop this guy from having his turn. Well, I can't stop him from having his turn, so... well, I can't use the quick attack or whatever it was called again. If I could remove this follow-up attack, I probably would. At the very least, I'd like to see how it plays out, if I did. Just having the ability to constantly, potentially, stop an enemy's turn sounds like fun. So do I want to protect myself from their damage? No matter what, I can't use the ability to interrupt his attack, or his turn. I wonder, would the Vukovac be able to just one-shot him on his next turn? I don't want to do that. That would seriously mess me up. Unfortunately, we have a lot of focus, so... I mean, 6 isn't out of the question, but... Look, it goes like this. If we don't interrupt his turn, and we don't follow through with it, we don't go through with action-reaction, he's going to have too much health for me to call in the Vukovac and have it just remove him from the fight, let's say. Unfortunately, it just relies too heavily on the Veles being able to stop him. That's fine. It'll work. Just watch. All you have to do is believe. Yeah, it'll hurt a little. It's fine. Let's see about a Vukovac. Oh yeah. That's it for Buddy. I can't call in the Lelik, but I can do this. Swap to you. Did he taste good? Glad. Okay, now that this guy is suffering, I could also put it on the other guy, which would be great. Instead, we'll do this. We'll go on a turn interrupting Bender. Just because we can. Either it works or we get cut. One turn. Getting slashed is no laughing matter, okay? No, we didn't do it, so we didn't lose any focus, which is fine. Getting that other guy out was actually much more useful. Wait. Since this guy's already low, and then we'll have the Vukovac tear him a new one. I wonder, can he do it now? It wouldn't kill. Yeah, they both catch the a little bit of suffering. So we'll go with this. For no particular reason. It's not even the most efficient move we could make. I just wanted to do it. Okay, this time we'll actually go with this. Stack more of that on him. And actually, we could just get rid of his turn, couldn't we? Oh, neither of those are fast. And then we're protected, and then we just interrupt his turn until the end of time, basically. I forgot the part where that didn't actually trigger until the end of his turn, rather than at the beginning of it. Whoops, I guess. Worked out fine, though. It's fine. It's fine. Yep, we'll just go ahead and use... We can't use agony. Instead, we'll go with this one. Accidentally disabled the guy's trait for free. Because I totally forgot he was vulnerable. Well, his trait was vulnerable to the Lelic. Let's give a guy a concussion. Ooh. Inflicts damage, lowers all enemies' focus by 1. That is tasty. What do you do? Inflicts damage, casts suffering on all enemies. Inflicts damage, restores your health. Inflicts damage, launches an attack on a random enemy. But, get this. Its damage ranges from 15 to 75. That ain't not bad. Yep.
What's going on here? I've just come to work to find all this hustle and bustle. The boss said you asked about me. What is it?
Miss Hanya, I'm Victor. The guy fell off a balcony at the Imperial Hotel. You were there when Ludwig died, weren't you?
I remember no such thing. If these drunks here were still standing straight, you'd be sorry. Leave me alone.
Anya's fear. Anna brushes me off. She won't talk about Ludwig and the events at the hotel. So let's find dirt on her. Postcard. A postcard from Lodz? Signed Love, Ludwig. The woman sees Ludwig's signature and recalls an identical one on the dreaded document. The letters seem to detach themselves from the paper and circle overhead like vultures. Every glance at the tragic contract causes panic. So, the woman persists in her impotence, unable to make a move. And thus, the conclusion we reach regards the mystery of the fateful evening. Ludwig had signed some sort of a document before he died, and Hanya, the waitress, knows where it is. I sense she would like to be rid of it and get everything over with. I just have to work on her a little bit.
Once again, I don't know anything.
That's not true.
Holding onto that contract weighs heavily on you. It's unbearable, isn't it? It causes you great pain. Your misery will disappear if you give it to me. You will get your peace, I promise.
I can't take it anymore. I can't. It reminds me of what I don't want to remember. I'll give it to you. Here, their contract.
Thank you. Tell me, what really happened that day?
Ludwig and Pietia were both drunk and made a bet. If Ludwig walked on a railing, Pietia would pay him. A lot. Ludwig was confident. He teetered, and...
Why didn't you get rid of the contract? You could have destroyed it.
I wanted to, but I was afraid Pietia would send someone after me to save himself. The contract is proof of his guilt. But it was my idea for them to sign it. The Krajewskis could use some money. We could have gotten married, gotten away. It doesn't matter now. Take it.
I'll be going.
Anya, quit chatting. There's beer to be sold.
I hope you'll use this contract wisely.
What do you mean?
Pietia deserves to suffer after what he did.
Well, she's not wrong. What happened was his fault. He suggested it, of all things. So he is responsible, without question. I don't know how the contract itself plays into it. I guess the contract itself regards the deal they made about him walking on the balcony. What's this? A piece of thread. A beige thread smudged with mud. Day by day, the repetitive clatter of machines. The seamstress's hands work abstractedly. After hours of sewing, they wither like flowers lacking water. She's been quilting these fabrics for so many years. Nothing ever changes except for these hands becoming more and more weak and wrinkled. There's something else here. Over here somewhere. The Daily Courier. It was a contest for readers. The newspaper opened a column with the results of a contest for the most interesting anecdote about Warsaw. I don't know how to pronounce Antony's last name. But he won. Good for him. What's all this about?
Nobody's home?
They are. They just won't answer the door. Tobias Fagin, the Warsaw Courier.
Maybe they want to mourn their son in peace rather than talk to the press.
What are you looking for here?
Information. But I think my methods are more effective.
Then maybe I will leave, and later you can share something. Deal?
How about Niet?
I've got a better idea. You get lost, and I won't knock your teeth out.
A subtle suggestion, Mr. Man with the book. Fine, I'm going.
I think that was the right
Take him
play.
away. Glory be. Thank you. Please, come in before he gets back. Let me at least offer you some tea.
Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something here.
I smell sparkles. coat with a fur collar. A coat sewn at a well-known tailor on... That's street. Black wool hugs... Black wool hugs the perfectly finished line of the collar. Expensive buttons still radiate with the faint glow of Parisian lights. The beauty of the intention is covered with dust. This gift wasn't chosen to make someone happy. The owner simply got bored with the out-of-fashion piece of rubbish. I ended up outside. Pieces of a broken plate lying on the kitchen floor. Every shard of the plate tossed with a fury radiates with a sense of injustice. A lifetime of hard work, taking care of his family. He didn't deserve such immense suffering. Sharp shards feel stuck in the throat and throttle with each heartbeat. Photo of a young woman. The photo shows a young woman posing in a photography studio. A look frozen in time. Love portrayed with a rich man's money. A piece of delight cropped to fit the frame. The paper reflects the light and thoughts of the beloved wrapped around the photograph like the halo around the head of a saint. Trace belongs to someone familiar, someone ambitious. Crumpled bill, a high medical bill and an annotation of debts. Amounts keep appearing on more and more pieces of paper, written as dead strings of digits. The paper has been crumpled up by weary hands with the corner warped by wet tears. Helplessness and despair pass through the heart in waves, each one more dizzying. This trace belongs to Zygmunt Krajewski, our man with the broom.
Come in. Would you like some tea? My name's Krajewski. Zygmunt.
Viktor Szulski, thank you. Maybe later. I have a question.
Is it about Ludwig? Since you brushed that news hound off. All right. Ask away.
Can I ask you about Ludwig's belongings?
You've looked around by now?
I found a photo of a young woman. Who is she?
This is Hannah, Ludwig's sweetheart. They had been seeing each other for a while. She was here not long ago, after what happened.
An elegant men's coat. Is it Ludwig's?
I don't have the heart to sell it. Ludwig liked it so much. Piecia gave it to him.
I've seen the doctor's bill.
I think this is trash.
Did Ludwig live here with you?
Not much recently. Piecia kept inviting him to all kinds of places. Parties, dances, horse racing.
Did it happen often?
What? Piecia's invitations? Yes. I would tell him Ruskies were not appropriate company for him.
Perhaps Ludwig was impressed with it all.
You bet. But if you ask me, Piecia was using Ludwig so that others would admire him for spending time with a poor man. So, there you have it.
Observation. Piecia's purpose. According to Zygmunt, Piecia used his relationship with the poor Ludwig to build up his image. And thus the conclusion we draw regards a profitable relationship. Ludwig and Piecia's relationship was quite complicated. Piecia's goal was to show others that he was magnanimous because he was friends with a poor boy. Ludwig, on the other hand, wanted to give his fiancée a good life thanks to his friend's support. Hopefully that support wasn't chasing kills. I can't tell you how annoying that is. He was also impressed by the company of the young Veronin.
That's enough. I bring you the sad truth, but I believe Ludwig deserves it. Your son was supposed to walk on the railing to win money from Pietia.
Jesus, I told him. I kept telling him it wasn't the right company to keep. I told him.
Ooh. Ooh, this is a rough one because the right thing to do is give him the contract. No doubt about that. The only problem is I like Uncle Veronin. He's a cool dude that doesn't afraid of anything. Then there's his son.
You should have it. This is the proof of Pietia's guilt.
My God. What am I to do with it? Can I ask you why you are doing all this?
I've got my reasons. I'll be going.
Thank you for telling me this, Mr. Shulsky.
Nothing to be done here. I'm going to hold on to that skill point for now. What?
You didn't introduce yourself, but I have my own ways of getting to the truth. WS. Victor Shulsky. Are you one of those Shulskys? Stanisław's son?
No, what do you want?
I know. You told me to go away, but you know what the press is like. So, what have you found out?
The Krajewskis are in a miserable situation. Ludwig's mother is very sick, and they can hardly make ends meet. The son's death was yet another blow. Soon, they will have to choose whether to do something illicit or let that woman die.
Sir, what kind of story is that? It's all the same in each of these tenement houses. Oh well, still, it was nice meeting you. In that case, until next time, Mr. W.
That man is going to find his titty slapped one day, I can tell you that. And now we must report to Veronin. Wait. The four-person slightly used. The model of the four-person? Don't know what that is. The Warsaw Courier. A stained page from a daily newspaper with a circled ad. As Konstanty Andrzejewic's apartment. One can learn to draw landscapes of Warsaw, but through the negligence of the newspaper's owner, the artist's address was not included. God dang tram. I really wish I could go faster. Remember, lessons at Andrzejewski's moved to 6. A hastily written note that must have fallen out of a notebook. I have to remember to keep an eye out for sparklies. This is a relatively new place. I mean, I've been here before, but still. There is something. Denunciation. The mad artist Andrzejewski, who lives on 84 Poznaniec. Nope, I don't have it. Brings strangers to his house every day and talks to them about Nevsky Orthodox Church. They discuss its construction in detail. It is highly likely they are planning an assassin. I don't know why that happened. It is highly likely they are planning an assassination attempt. I advise you to take an interest in this suspicious person and his shady guests.
That wasn't too hard.
And thus the conclusion we draw. Every day at 6 in his apartment on 84 Poznanska Street, Konstanty Andrievsky. Nope, that's not it at all. Andreevics. I don't know how the Z works in here. So it's throwing me off, so I'm just going to pretend it's not there. Konstanty Andreevics gives drawing lessons where you can practice sketching landscapes of Warsaw under his tutelage. Currently the topic of the class is the Nevsky Orthodox Church. I smell glitter. Denunciation. To the attention of the police station for Warsaw, Swagmiesi, September 1st, 1905. Expressed himself in unflattering terms about the Tsar. They made a toast shouting subversive slogans. Quote, "The Tsar will get his comeuppance, and we will soon see him fleeing with his tail between his legs. To independent Poland, which is always present in our hearts, if not yet on the maps." A piece of paper covered in hastily written scribbles. Every insult will be avenged. The sad men will soon come for Antony. His head spins from cold rage into desire for revenge. Every innocent word dooms the enemy. Verses of the denunciation dance around the overjoyed heart in a haunted procession. And thus we must now inform our ever unfortunate uncle that his son is a miscreant and responsible for manslaughter. I will, of course, not be mentioning the contract. No sparkles, but plenty to read. Yoink, yoink, and a yoink.
Hello, Uncle. What brings you here? We need to talk about Petya. Great. Yes, you know what? Let's start walking again. It's kind of stuffy here, you know. And on the bench, I'll be able to think straight about what you're saying. Well, shoot, boy. No matter how much it hurts.
It frankly doesn't make sense to cover for Petya because we handed the contract over to Mr. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I know it started with a K. Something Moont. Anyway.
Ludwig and Petya got drunk and they made a bet. Ludwig had to walk on the railing for a large sum of money from Petya. We know how it ended. Petya. Petya. What have you done? I told the Krajewskis about it. I thought they should know the truth. I suppose they go to the press now. Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing they know. I'm glad they know the truth. That's all, Uncle. Thank you for taking care of that matter. I believe that if your younger self had that kind of support, your life could have been different. Tell me, what will happen to Petya now? I'm glad the Krajewskis heard the truth from you. I'm proud of you, and Stasia would be too. sure about that, but I accept the compliment.
It's getting late. I'll take a walk and think. Good night.
Good night, Uncle.
Ah, Veronin's sad. That makes me upset. What else do we have to do? Surely we've got some other nonsense to get up to. Find a way to deal with the WAS. Oh, right. We have what we need in order to look into that thing in their office, or in the office. Framed photo of a woman. The lady in the picture is about 30 years old. Words of longing and vengeance have left deep, savagely sharp scratches on the film. Each and every insult addressed at their thaumaturges, uttered so often they became mechanical, only made those scratches deeper. And of course, we have no idea who that's from.
What are you sniffing around here for?
This society of yours is funny. You must not deal with many actual problems in your lives.
You're the real problem. We're fighting for a world free of such vermin. And soon we will win. No one will fall victim to temperaments or magic anymore.
Who's the woman in the photograph? Is this your wife?
Yes. And let's leave it at that. I will not talk about her, especially with someone like you. She suffered enough because of people like you.
I know she left you. She preferred someone else. A thaumaturge.
He put a spell on her. She left me and the children. That damn magician destroyed my family.
Almost certain the reason she left was different.
Observation. Personal vendetta. Vladimirs? I mean, I know we've heard his name before, but I haven't spoken to this guy or thought about him in 2 episodes, not including this one. Confessed that his beloved left him for a thaumaturge. He believes she was manipulated into doing so. He doesn't know squat. And thus, the conclusion we reach regards the WAS chairman. His personal feud with the thaumaturge led him to take the helm of the WAS. In order to incite the same kind of hate in others, with Lech's help, orchestrated a display featuring resurrected corpses. Interestingly, the core WAS members have distanced themselves from such methods.
You went to great lengths to orchestrate the whole story about a dead thaumaturge whose evil energy causes the corpses in the cemetery to rise.
I just brought attention to a genuine threat. I demonstrated what might happen in the future if we kept burying thaumaturges among normal people.
Says who?
A friend told me. How dare you explain how the world works to me? Do you think you're better than me?
A little, yeah.
Now we're talking. I can see you wrote a book. I wonder what sources you used.
My own experience. This is all based on real life.
Thaumaturges, social dregs with minds twisted by magic, take revenge on random people for the subconsciously perceived suffering. I know some people with twisted minds. They hire people to dig corpses out of graves.
Boom, got him.
It's interesting that even the World Anti-Thaumaturge Society doesn't want to have anything to do with you.
Everyone knows they've been infiltrated by temperamancers and dragon serpents.
What now?
Otherwise, they would listen to me.
Ah, the dragon serpents, yes, that explains it.
You're responsible for all the suffering in this world, for war and hunger. I know, even though the authorities hide it from us. But soon, people will see the truth and admit I'm right.
What you're saying is very dangerous, for you as well. There would be so much less confusion if you didn't carry it within you. We can still fix it.
What did you do to me?
I've rid you of something that was controlling you. The overgrown flaw related to fanaticism wasn't letting you think straight.
What do you mean, rid?
See, you no longer feel the heat of hatred. You don't have to fight anymore. You can breathe easy.
I want you to go now, and I don't want to see you ever again.
I promise, unless you commission more digging.
We acquired fanaticism. We're doing great, I guess. Oh, right. These things cost 2 now, so I'm going to hold off until we get to a point where we need to spend them. Talk with the gravedigger. Yeah, it's up this way. You know, I really didn't expect to end up fixing the guy.
Sweet Jesus, don't scare me. I'm just here to see if the dead are lying down as they should.
First of all, the WAS won't mess around here anymore.
Did you send them to hell where they belong?
Well, that's just unfortunate. Not even knowing makes me sad. But I mean, it's definitely meat on the bones for a second playthrough if you are so inclined. I am not.
Hell, we'll wait for them a little longer. We made a deal.
What? So they'll get away with it? Where's the justice? Ugh. But now that it's all over, would you be so kind as to make a donation? For the cemetery, of course. And to make sure important notices reach you as quickly in the future.
You stinky little bugger.
I'll be gracious. Please write a letter to my sister. She'll send you a check.
Thank you for looking kindly on an honest man. If you do expire someday, I'll get you the most exquisite hearse. God bless Mr. Shulsky.
She's probably not going to be very happy about that, but I feel like a good person, so it doesn't even matter. The tailor can wait. The memory horizon will require us to wait. Is that everything? No, there are still the urban secrets, which... There we go. Let's start off with the fighting. Well, hold on. First, I need to see how long we've been recording, because naturally I didn't start the timer, being a professional and all. And it is apparently 1 hour and 6 minutes in. And since I spent about 40 minutes playing ranked and suffering, did we win one? I don't even remember. All I remember is pain. So this is where we're going to end it for today. Next episode, we will be looking into some of the other things that we've discovered in our journey through parts of this city. And frankly, there is a lot of stuff, so I'll probably do a few of them and then do some main story stuff and then swap back to the urban secrets here. But as I said, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back on... This goes up Wednesday. Oh, goodness. Ugh. Yeah, this goes up Wednesday. So the next episode will be on Friday. And I really do hope you join us, because who knows if someone's just going to sick random baddies on us to then get beaten up. I really like being able to stop someone from having a turn. Even though it's a 50% chance each time I attempt it, it feels good when it comes through. I think I might like the Velas. Anyway, again, the next episode will be on Friday, so feel free to tune in if you are so inclined, or if you're just bored. Trust me, I'll be here. And so with all that said, we will see you next time.